Breaker channel 19. Does this work? Can you hear me, Isaiah? Can you hear me? I was supposed to talk about my trip over there to the king when he was born. And they were wondering why I was called a wise man. Well, I was loading me some bulls. And 82 bulls. This might be why I'm called a wise man, because I count the feet when I load them. So 82 is 300. Do you know, Mr. Isaiah, what that is? No, sir, it's 328. That's why I'm called a wise man. Anyway, I got 327. And I says, boys, that's not going to work. So, it was the last set that I miscounted. And I stuck my head in the trailer. And all the day when I was recounting them, one kicked me. Well, I seen a bunch of stars. And then I passed out. Right before I passed out, old Bo, the truck driver, Bo was laughing at me. Passed out, came back to, he was still laughing at me. And well, while I was out, I had a dream that I was supposed to follow this star. And so I come to, and old Bo was still laughing. And I asked him, I says, what about that star there? You see that star? Yeah. He says, son, you better get kicked again to realign your head. Well, in my heart, I thought, you know what? I better follow that star. So I did. I went ahead and unloaded them. And went ahead and unloaded them. Said, got to follow that star, so I put the old red, that's my truck, on the big road. Hammer down, I says to myself, hammer down. So I follow that star. I didn't stop till, well, I had to stop the pilot. I told her to fill her up. Told everybody there at the pilot, and they didn't believe me. They ignored me. I said, whatever. So I put old Red back on the road. Hammer down. Well, the only stopping I did, pull her into Walmart. Got me some gifts. Thought I better get something, you know. So, pull her back on, and didn't stop. All the way there, hammer down till I got to see the new baby Jesus. I was also told in a dream not to go back that way. So I didn't. I set my GPS to go a different way. So I did. And old baby Jesus, he was a nice little feller. Nice and quiet. I wish Bo was quiet.
The power of the dark side has been strong, but prophecy I have read, and hope it will give. Appeared as a star, as a star. It is foretold the birth of the chosen one. The prophecy he will fulfill. The power of the dark side he will break. Trust him we must. A new hope will he be for the entire galaxy. Light he has brought to this world.
How would you like to travel for months with those guys? It's a good thing we're friends. You know, my friends call me Ogle because I like to stare at the stars. I like to watch the stars. It started out as just an interest, but has become a real passion for me. You know, thankfully my family was pretty wealthy and they could send me to learn from the best stargazer in the East. He taught me that as I looked at the stars, I also needed to learn from the sages of the past. And that would help me to understand the stars, and it helped me to understand the ways of life as well. And so he taught me about Copernicus, and he read to me from Aristotle, and I learned a lot. One night, as I was reading along, I came across a sage by the name of Balaam of Peor. And he wrote, "A star will come out of Jacob, and a scepter will rise out of Israel. He will crush the foreheads of Moab and the skulls of the sons of Seth. Edom will be conquered. Seir, his enemy, will be conquered, but Israel will go strong." I wondered, now, why on earth would someone write about their enemy conquering them and being in victory? I remember that day just like it was yesterday. Because that night, when I went out to look at the stars, there was a different one there. One real bright and shining, and it hang out over the west, right over about where Israel would be. I wondered, could that star be the sign of this great king I had just read about? I talked to others. Some thought I was crazy. Some thought I was seeing things. But then I talked to my father, and he said, you know, there was a Hebrew guy, wrote a long time ago, a sage back then by the name of Isaiah. And he wrote, "A people walking in darkness has seen a great light, and on those living in darkness, in the shadow of death, a light has dawned. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and an increase of his government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on the throne of David and over his kingdom." And then I believed that that star was a sign of this coming king, this new Hebrew king, that even the enemies of Israel wrote about, saying was great. And if they wrote about it, I knew I just had to go see that king. As you can see, my sleeping bag has seen a little wear. I got it new when we started out. So we traveled this way, joined with my friends, and we all came out here to see this baby. I'm tired of the travel. I'm really tired of the travel, but I'm glad to finally get here to see this baby. But you know, I was really surprised. I was really surprised. Because here this child, this greatest person, and yet where was the reception? I expected him to be born in the king's palace. And instead I found him in a little town in a peasant's home. Who is this child? Who was this child? You know, we talked to the religious leaders, and the religious leaders all knew where he was supposed to be born. But where's the interest? They didn't seem to care at all. You know, we heard that some shepherds had been out taking care of their sheep, and an angel appeared. And they were all excited, and they came into town, and they saw the baby, and they went and told everybody. But then the excitement just died. Nobody seemed to care. I don't understand it. We traveled for so far and so long to come and see this baby. But nobody seems to care. You know, he must really be an unusual king. Have such announcements of his coming, and yet nobody cares. What's his kingdom going to be like? What is he going to be like? You know, for a little bit I wondered if he was who I thought he was going to be, if this child was really the king. But then as I remembered the pieces of the puzzle that led us all here, and as we looked into that child's eyes, we knew that he was the king, that he was who was foretold. All my doubt left. I will always honor him, and I long to see the day when this child will rule.